and welcome back to This Week in the Mohawk Valley. It's time now for the Central New York Travel Show portion of today's program, and once again it will be myself solo, Kelly and Sarah from Oneida County Tourism having other obligations today, so it'll be me taking you through with both the show and the events calendar, which is coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite things, and I'm a big cider fan. And joining us from the Clinton Cider Mill is John Fehlner. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, Jim. I'm well, thanks.
You know, I was thinking, ciders, you can drink it year-round, but this is the time of year in the fall when it always, nice, crisp, cool weather, drinking cider. But the weather we've been having out here, it's more like the middle of summer this week. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable this week.
So the Clinton Cider Mill actually celebrating 90 years this year.
90 years. It's interesting when you think about it, Jim, that the Clinton Cider Mill was actually built a year before the Stanley Theater. That sort of puts it in perspective when we think about that. And it is our 90th. It's our family's 20th anniversary there. So we're really excited to be a part of this history and this tradition.
And we were talking before we went on the air also, you've got a milestone, donut milestone as well?
Yeah, I don't know why, but 19 seasons ago when we started making donuts, we decided we'd start counting them. So we actually have done that and realized that this year we'll be selling our millionth donut coming up sometime in the near future. I haven't bothered to check it since the season started, but my son does that, and that will kind of be a fun day for us.
Excellent. Now, we of course, we had sort of a crazy season here weather-wise with the wet August and the dry weather. How does that translate into the apple crop?
Well, fortunately, the apple crop is wonderful for most growers this year. That's not always the case, and this hot weather is not the best thing, but I guess given the fact that it's happening so late in the season, we're going to escape any problems. We got past the frost and the hailstone possibilities, and so there seem to be lots of apples around for everyone.
That's great. Now, most people, buy the container apple cider and drink it. Let's talk a little bit about how it gets from the apple tree to the jug. Talk a little bit about the apple cider making process.
Yeah, we by the way don't own any orchards. We purchase everything we have from New York State orchards. We have several farmers from Penn Yan to the Utica area that we purchase things from. They deliver the product to us. We try to mix it in terms of when certain apples are ready, and we have them delivered to us, and then we have an enormous refrigerator at the mill where we keep thousands of bushels of apples that we eventually, during our 11-week cycle, which is all we have, is 11 weeks a year, we'll every Saturday and Sunday be pressing all day long and turning that into some 15,000 gallons that we're going to produce every year. The apples actually come from the cooler to there's a washing process that we have to use now because of all the HACCP regulations. We're much more careful than we ever had to be 20 years ago, but that's all good. It's fun to watch the process, the elevator going up to the second floor, the apples being pressed on the press that, by the way, is 125 years old this year. It was moved here from Madison, New York, those 90 years ago, and it's still belt driven, and it's exciting to see it. It's really an event to come up every weekend and watch the process.
Is there a certain apple that's best for cider? Do you use different types, different varieties?
It's the blend that's important. We always try to use at least 4 different varieties. This past weekend we used 9, which was great. We actually have a number of customers who look forward to different types of apples that are in the product, and they'll check with us. It's become a pretty interesting thing for some people to follow, like a wine. They follow our cider, which is exciting for us as well.
So you mentioned that so folks can actually go to the cider mill and actually watch the process. And
they can be right in the middle of the process, watching it, asking questions. It's fun to see the different generations together, comparing notes and watching and asking questions, and hear the slap of the belts and hear the squish of the cider. It's really quite an event.
And for folks who are interested, where are you located and what are your hours?
We're located on Elm Street in Clinton, which is just behind the school. And our hours are 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and Sunday 10 through 5.
Excellent. Did we cover everything? Anything else you want to add?
Oh, I think we did pretty well. Come see us.
All right. Sounds great. John Fehlner from the Clinton Cider Mill celebrating 90 years this year. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a quick